Now, as much time as I sincerely wish I had to make patterns for these, that is just completely not possible for me. Even, I don't think even if I did have the time to write a pattern for something like this, I would even attempt to. It is just no. I just would never. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't. I just couldn't. It's a lot. It is a lot. Because like I said, it is trial and error with something like this. It's free form. So free form calls no pattern. Free form things, you just go. So let me show you for example. This is a free form. This is free form. I started off with a small tiny piece like this, and then I kept going. I did um I did some chains, and then I kept going. It is free form, no pattern necessary. So that's the fun thing about it. This is what I want to teach. I want to teach you how to do your own thing. Make your own. You can make your own patterns off of this. Like, this is something that is beautiful, but you don't need a pattern. You don't need a pattern for something like this. You just go. You make the shape that you want. You use the colors that you want. You go as long as you want. You go as short as you want. You stop. You tie it off. You change your colors, and it's just something to really really like learn if you really really want to get into learning to crochet and coming up with your own stuff. So that is what I want to teach. Me shaping the shoulder right here. I'm coming up to the end of my brighter pink, which will be right here. So if i am if I need less pink on this side, I'm going to continue to go until I reach that part, so you guys can watch exactly how I do it. It took some time to get around this because these stitches are really small, really really small, and it is not hard to work with a size 1 needle for me. And this yarn is pretty good to not split. So, and again, this is a very good needle that I'm using, so it's just as easy for me to go going nice and smooth. And it's not about being fast here in this, because like I said, you don't know when you have to stop. You don't know how many stitches you're going to need, or etc etc. A lot comes into play with this. So again, for those who are asking for patterns, I don't write patterns for anything, to be for real with you. So if I have like a video or tutorial or something, I most likely remembered that pattern, or I made it so many times that I just remember. So, and even if something like that, I use sewing patterns for my sizing, for my shapes and stuff like that. So a lot of times if you see something from me, I'll tell you the stitches that I use, and I'll tell you how to make it yourself or how to get your own pattern. Because again, like I said, there's a lot of people who use patterns, but I don't think you guys actually learn from the patterns. A simple pattern can teach you a lot. Like, say you have a pattern for a certain style sweater with the collar. You need to pay attention to your stitches, and you need to pay attention to that shape that you're creating, because that can go a lot of different ways. You can use that for a lot of different things. So a lot of patterns are fairly basic. They're just changing like one or two stitches, or they just making it their own. So from so many patterns that I bought, that's what I learned too. Like, you have to learn from what you're doing, and the people that you have to actually listen from the people that's actually teaching you and you're learning from. So I know a lot of these techniques from watching videos over the years, and just you know figuring out how shaping actually works. Because if I need to learn how to make the letter C, how do you get that curve, or how do you get that shape, letter G, J, or your letters and stuff like that? How do you get that? So using those techniques and actually instilling it, and actually like, oh hey, this, you do this to get this. If I'm making sense, I hope I'm making sense. But if you are going, if this is something that you're really passionate about, I'd say, you know, again, there is nothing wrong with using patterns or, buying patterns or asking people for patterns. Don't let me confuse you. I don't think I'm being mean, because I'm not. I'm just saying, like, as a true artist, nobody wants to be stolen from, because that's your idea and that's your thing. And I'm not saying anybody is stealing from me. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. Because if I necessarily wanted to sell my patterns and sell my things, that I could, but I'm just telling you guys how to look at it. And this is how I learned. I've been crocheting for over 20 years, from way more than 20 years. So from all the different things I've learned, from all the people and all the videos that I've watched, I would literally just sit there and watch crochet videos while working on my own project and watching something differently, because I'll see something and I want to know, how was that made? And for the most part, most of it is pretty freaking simple. But you have to tell yourself that, you have to remember, oh yeah, I remember in this pattern when I made this is how I got that shape. So again, if you need like a curve, or if there's a special type of something in there, as in, like, when I was doing this piece of the shoulder, and when I got to the end, I went ahead and decreased three, like I did 3 single crochets together, and it gave me that curve that I needed for the shoulder. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to use that part, but I'm just saying, oh, that's something that I thought about. Like, oh, how can I make this go in? Oh, I remember making the letter C, and I remember this is what I did to make it curve in. Okay? So just some pointers and things like that. That's how it actually works, and that's how Freeform came to mind. I don't like to sit there and have to read something the whole time, when I just want to enjoy the art that I'm making. It's not necessarily, a crazy business where I'm just overloading myself or something. I don't like to do. This is something I like to do, so I don't want to destroy it by just I don't know. I don't know. But I'm reaching my I'm reaching about the it's yeah, okay. I'm reaching about the end of my pink here. So I'll probably have like one more row on this side. You see how that little bit of pink goes in? And so once I get there, hold on. Once I reach that, I'll continue to keep going around and around and around, and then I'll stop. I'll cut it, and then I'll start from here, and then I'll go round and round and round until there's no more of that pink. And then if I reach this part, there's no more pink right here, I'll stop, and then I'll continue to work in separate rows until I reach that shape. And once I have all that pink, I'll go in with the darker pink and continue to go around until I desire. So I'm going to do the full shoulder there.